Hey YouTube, this is Team Obliterate here with a deck profile, our first one of the year and starting out. Um, this is a Hopeless Blue Eyes slash Dragon Draw deck, and it's really consistent. It's very fast. You generally draw most of your deck whenever you get the draw cards going, and they go into each other. I've gone 3-1 at locals before with it, and I got 4th place with it. It was pretty good. It's really consistent now that everyone's playing samurais and things that are kind of small. With these big monsters, they kind of get afraid, and they really want to get them off the field. So let's go through the deck. First, since it's Hopeless Blue Eyes, we have 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, and these combo with Trade-In to help you draw, and you want these in the graveyard. Next, we have 3 White Stone of Legend. And whenever this card is sent to the graveyard, you can get a Blue Eyes from your deck and add it to your hand. And this also combos very well with Card of Consonance to draw 2 cards. Okay. Next is Totem Dragon. Only 2 Totem Dragon in this deck. This is mostly for just in case you aren't able to special summon out the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon on first turn. You can set it, and then you can sacrifice it for a double sacrifice, or remove it from play when it comes back from the graveyard. It's kind of a Treeborn Frog of the deck. It's very useful, especially for Light and Darkness Dragon, which helps you out in the bind. Next is Light and Darkness Dragon. I only run 2 because you only need 2. Any more is just clogging up your hand, and I just find it good just to run 2 of these guys. They really mess up any deck that's out there right now. So there's those. Next are the big boss monster. It's Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and he is just amazing. He brings back stuff from the graveyard and out of your hand, no matter what level it is, a dragon type. This whole deck is dragon, so it brings out any monsters you want, except for himself. So he's amazing, 2800 beater, great stuff. Next, Red Eyes Wyvern. 2 is good, 3 is just bad. Usually I use these for targets for Future Fusion, because once they get in there, I can have another shot with my Red Eyes if they get Torrential Tributed, or Smashing Ground, something like that. Anything that destroys it, they're really good to have. Next is a proxy for Debris Dragon. I have Debris Dragons, it's just they're not in this deck, and you only need 1 in this deck. It's mostly to combo into synchros that you might need, like Trident Dragon, or Black Rose play if you really need to clear the field, and then go off. Next is Dread Dragon. Dread Dragon helps if you are trying to get your Blue Eyes White Dragons and you don't have them in your hand. You get a White Stone, they destroy the White Stone, you get a Blue Eyes to your hand. Very good set. Next is 1 Prime Material. Underrated card, very good. It's basically a Stardust Dragon with discard effect. It's 2400 attack. Also has the reverse damage effect that if you take damage, it gives you life points instead of taking them away. Great card, I always try to bring it out whenever I can. Great against burn. Very great against burn. Next is the spell lineup. The spells are quite interesting. I'm going to start with the staples first. 1 MST. I find that 1 MST can do very well. 2 is just too much. Dark Hole, staple, no needs to say. Future Fusion. This card is great. First turn Future Fusion, basically you have the game in your hands. Discard 5 dragons. I usually go for Wyverns and Darkness Metals and stuff like that, and it's just great. Next, Monster Reborn, staple, enough said. Giant Trunade, awesome, enough said. 2, My Body as a Shield. These help against Dark Holes and Torrential Tributes and anything that destroys your monsters, because you will have a lot of people trying to destroy everything as soon as they see all those dragons swarming out. So these help protect you. Always have one on hand when you're about to go off. That means it'll just protect you and keep you safe from mirror forces, torrentials, all that stuff. So these are amazing. Next we have the draw engine of the deck, and I really enjoy this engine. It's really fun. There's 3 super rejuvenation, and what it does, a lot of people don't remember this card, is whenever you discard a dragon type monster, you play this card, and you get to draw a card at your end phase for every dragon you discard. So let's say with the other draw cards, you discard 3 dragons, you get to draw 3 cards at your end phase as well. So play 3 of those, because you can just draw so many cards with these cards. It's so great. Next we have triple trade-in, because there's, I don't know, 5 targets. So I'm satisfied with that. That's really good to have 5 targets for these 3 cards. It's good. Draw 2 cards, discard your Blue Eyes or your Lad that's just sitting dead in your hand. Next, 3 card Consonants. Discard a Tuner that's 1,000 or less. Draw 2 cards. Discard Whitestone, get a Blue Eyes to hand. Combo with a trade-in. Draw 2 cards again. Next is 2 Upstart Goblin. Sometimes you only 1 card off of the combo, and you need to draw 1 more time, and this just gives you that extra oomph that you need. It gives your opponent 1,000 life points, but generally when you win with this deck, you're going to be winning over a life points amount, so be winning with like at least 10,000 or more. I've won with 12,000 before. It's really powerful. Next, card destruction. If you really draw a bad hand, which sometimes this deck does, I'm not going to lie, you can discard all the dragons, and if you draw super rejuvenation, you can play it as well, and you'll get to draw that many cards back, so you'll plus however many things you discard, depending on the monsters. So that's good. Next, hand destruction, in case of getting really dead hands and you have to ditch to draw 2 more. Also helps you with your draw engine. And I really like this draw engine. It's very quick. People don't know how many draw cards you play. You tell them you play like 6 or 7, they're like, oh, this might take a while. So it's really good. For traps, I only have 3 traps, and these are the 3 trap cards I'll run. 2 Royal Decree, because dragons don't like trap cards, and yeah, Call the Haunted, because it's Call the Haunted, and for dragons that's amazing, because you could just plus yourself and win just by bringing back a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon and just bring back everything from the graveyard. So that's the deck. It's a 40 card deck, and I'm going to show you the extra deck here. There's not much to the extra deck, because I don't synchro very much, but when I do, this is generally what I bring out. You can also add a Black Rose Dragon as well in here, and an Ancient Fairy Dragon, just in case. But Iron Chain is for debris. This is for just because I have space and I can put it in there. Trident Dragon. I'd probably run 2 of them in here if I had to, but I don't have to, so I just run 1. Great card, great to combo out with if you can do it with Blue Eyes and Whitestone, or Blue Eyes and any other level 2. Ultimate Dragon. This is in case you happen to feel like playing Ultimate Dragon. It's not as great as the 5-headed guy, who's, you know, boss and amazing, but this is generally my 2 targets for Future Fusion. If I pull Future Fusion, I usually go for 5-headed myself. I have gone for Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and people have been very surprised at that, and it's come out on the field and it's destroyed a lot of stuff. Or it's been bottomless, which is, you know, not so great, but, you know, it happens. Scrap Dragon, because Scrap Dragon is amazing and great in this deck. Yeah, it's Scrap Dragon. You can't mess with it. And that's pretty much the deck. Sideboard, not really an issue. It depends on what people play at your locals. You know, people playing Sams and stuff. Make your own sideboard, you know, mix and match. Also, you can play with the deck a little bit. It's pretty interesting, and mess with the draw engine. It's pretty fun. I love to draw, like, you know, 12 cards in a turn, because people are like, what the hell did that just happen? So, That's the deck.